So we gotta wait to see how that separate second weekend performs for Fantastic Four, but things aren't already looking so good for this movie. If you look at the legs of Fantastic Four, which is kind of the most important part of a movie, and once the movie wakes even like 1 week, then but Fantastic Four is doing at the bar is doing below the average movie. Yes, an average movie would be at bare minimum 128 for 390 29 0.47, but it seems that Fantastic Four is performing beneath this. Again, Disney and the media was touting this movie as this massive, massive box office hit. They kept over-purporting this movie at the box office, and you can compare this to other movies. So this movie is performing worse than Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Yes, this movie is performing on par with that movie. It's now performing worse than Brave New Worlds Monday. Yes, Fantastic Four was at a better opening than both. It's performing worse than both of these movies. Obviously, of course, as well. Of course, Brave New World and Ant-Man had holidays. Fantastic Four does not have any holidays as well. Okay, but these are very, very, very bad numbers for this movie. Okay, and of course, if you adjust Ant-Man for inflation, the movie is tracking on par of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. You can't make this shit up. You can't make this stuff up. Okay, this movie will likely end up making around 220 million if history serves it right. But of course, Fantastic Four is only in its first Monday, its fourth day of release. There is a possibility Fantastic Four do better, and we can even add in Superman as well, because people are like, why are you excluding Superman? That's the number one movie it's fighting against. The number one movie it's fighting against at the box office as well. Okay, we can include Superman as well. Okay, Superman held at 12 million. Okay, and Superman opened higher. But the thing is, Superman kept having good holds. 17 million, 11 million, 10 million, 16 million, you know, and it's still having decent holds as well, as we have numbers for yesterday, for Superman, and it's still holding relatively well compared to recent MCU movies as well. It is still performing relatively well compared to recent MCU movies as well. Okay. Meanwhile, Quantumania, so there's two paths Fantastic Four could go on. Because, again, Superman had a similar drop on Monday too, but it could recover throughout the week. That's the only swimmer of hope Disney really has. But if this movie performs like Quantumania and Brave New World, where I still think it's more likely to do that, or Thunderbolts as well, okay, which can include that movie in as well, okay, you know, okay, Thunderbolts had a drop off to 5 million, but Thunderbolts only opened to 34 million as well. But Thunderbolts was another one that also very, very performed very, very poorly at the box office, okay? And we'll wait to see how the second and third weekend is. But it seems like Superman will be ripping, all of the MCU's ass, which would be pretty hilarious to see as well. Yeah. And I believe Thunderbolts is still in theaters. It could still be in theaters because that's how Disney is. Yeah, they still have Thunderbolts in like 20, 40 theaters as well. But yeah, there we go about the box office. And Thunderbolts actually performed relatively well too, but eventually sizzled out and lost theaters to newer movies as well. And yeah, Thunderbolts ended up being a huge flop. The only thing going for Fantastic Four at this point is that being a recognizable characters. Okay, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 also performed relatively poorly at the beginning. Okay. As well. Okay, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 at the very, very beginning performed very, very poorly, but had very good holds, for a movie like this. Okay, let's unadjust it for inflation, obviously. But Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is the only real glimmer of hope the MCU has now. Okay, because Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 had very great week-to-week holds, and it ended up making $358 million at the domestic box office as well because of word of mouth as well. But Guardians of the Galaxy was built on goodwill of two movies that people love as well. I know some people don't like Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, but it still had these great week-to-week holds at the box office as well. Okay? And these holds is why Guardians of the Galaxy 3 did well. But we'll wait to see how Fantastic Four performs in second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth weekend as well. But yeah, we'll wait to see. Will it perform like Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 and Superman? Or will it perform like wah 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 wah? But yep, that's what this video here. Goodbye.